And now that we've analyzed some of the legal implications and reasoning of what's happening with these tariffs, let's move on to the economic side. Here with us for all the details is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, that obviously intimately involved in rolling out these tariffs. Mr. Secretary, I know it's frustrating for the administration with these rulings on again, off again. But what is your plan in light of these court movements?
Basically, our trade agenda is going forward. Our policy is going forward. We've got mostly so many countries, I mean, virtually every country in the world calling, talking to us, wants to make a deal with America. You know our economy is the place to go and do business, and everyone wants to do business with us. So we are moving forward, and the president's got all sorts of opportunities to do things correctly for the American people, and he's going to stay on the topic and make sure he's protecting America.
Mr. Secretary, just a process question. What was the thinking behind using IEEPA versus the more traditional route, which does take a little bit more time? But what was that thinking leading up to Liberation Day?
Well, the president's spoken about the national emergency that's led us to these giant trade deficits, right? I mean, he spoke about it on the campaign trail, and he wanted to use the sweeping powers of IEEPA. Now, he has many, many other laws and authorities that he can use, and he'll take them out if he needs to. But right now, he likes the sweeping authority because it lets him deal with everybody who treats us unfairly, who doesn't treat us reciprocally. He can use IEEPA to do the whole world and sort of set America up correctly and protect America from the national emergency. But as you know, we're going to go through the courts, and you should always bet on Donald Trump, because what we've all seen is he does not lose.
Was he surprised about this three-judge panel? Because it was a Reagan judge, it was a Trump judge, and then it was an Obama judge. And it was a unanimous ruling on this court. Is he surprised by that?
Well, I think, you know, he was not happy with the panel because what you called a Trump judge is just one of these blue slip judges, meaning it was a Democrat judge. It was their seat, and he just approved their seat, which is the deal for those kind of things. And you know, while we would love Ronald Reagan, you know, on trade, he just was not a strong trade guy. So, you know, I think the president saw the panel as weak. He's been through this kind of stuff before. I think he's confident on appeal. He's confident at the Supreme Court. And I think he knows he's going to win because he's got to protect the American people. He's got to protect the American workers. He's got $10 trillion coming to build factories in America, and he's going to stand for the American people. And he's got lots of other authorities, but I think this one's going to work, and it's going to hold. You just have to get real judges.
And Mr. Secretary, the back and forth on these tariffs causing some uncertainty in the stock market. It was always uncertainty in the stock market to some extent. S&P, Dow Jones Industrial showed some modest gains Thursday, but bond yields fell off. Investors were looking for some safe haven assets, I guess. This uncertainty that Wall Street is always complaining about, and you're from Wall Street, is that the proper focus here, or is it the long-term growth possibilities in this country as a result of these robust economic policies?
You've got it dead right. I mean, the economic growth that Donald Trump is driving here, right? He's got $10 trillion worth of factories being built. That's huge economic growth. It'll probably grow the economy 50% faster than would have otherwise grown. And then you've got the ability for us to export, right? We're growing our ability to export. Each and every one of these countries allows us to have market access. You know what that means? That means our farmers, our ranchers, our fishermen, our manufacturing can finally sell overseas. Our car manufacturers, everybody can finally sell fairly overseas. You could see the U.S. economy double its growth rate under Donald Trump because of these policies. So I think that's what you've got to look at. Yes, does changing the world's trade policies take a little time and create a little uncertainty? Of course it does. But 77 million Americans elected Donald Trump to do exactly what he's doing, and he's going to stay this course and get it done for America.
Now, I know you're extremely close to Elon Musk, and you guys worked together very closely at the White House and during the campaign those last few months. He's obviously leaving his role as his unofficial role in DOGE and so forth, going back to handle his companies. He seemed very frustrated with what happened with that bill, the big, beautiful bill, too much spending, not enough spending cuts, DOGE cuts not really embraced in any permanent capacity. Your reaction to losing him, at least as that fixture in Washington?
You know, the problem with people talking about losing him is he's great friends with the president, and I just saw him the other day with the president at dinner. So, they remain very good friends. They remain very connected. I know Elon is disappointed that in the big, beautiful bill, he wanted codified some of these DOGE cuts. He wanted to know that they were permanent, and instead, they're just part of the fabric of the political system. And the president understands how to do it. The president understands how to get these kind of bills passed. And so we're really in the president's hands. I know Elon would like to have everything done, permanently, but the president understands the political reality of how to get the most important tax bill ever in the history of America passed. And we're in Donald Trump's hands, and he knows what he's doing. So I think it's going to work out well. And I know Elon is still very, very close to the president, and I think he's going to stay exactly there.
And Mr. Secretary, finally, was he shocked at how vicious the left is and was to his company, Tesla especially? Was that shocking to him?
I think it was. I think, he builds electric cars. I mean, come on. What more does the left want? The greatest builder of electric cars and the only one who's a monster at it in America. He thought, okay, he can go help America cut waste, fraud, and abuse, which should be a bipartisan issue. I mean, when did cutting waste, fraud, and abuse become only one political party's idea? So I think he was shocked by the fact that they were burning his cars. I mean, why in the world would you attack someone who builds electric cars and is trying to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse from our political system? I think that sounds great. And I, for one, can't be more proud of what he tries to accomplish, what he did accomplish. And I think he's going to keep doing it. I think people are betting on the fact they're betting wrong. His DOGE team is going to keep at it, and they're going to be very, very effective.
Mr. Secretary, as always, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.